See, this is why this is why I've been enjoying DC more than Marvel. Just further proves my point. Just further proves how far Marvel has gone downhill. And just, well, in my opinion, I would say, in my opinion, I don't know how more I got much proof about how much I hate Marvel now. And just further proves it. This is why I like the Batman that came out earlier this year. That's why I say the Batman is better than all these Marvel films I've seen. Because what the Batman did was it did things a bit different. Little stuff like I would say refreshing and stuff like that, right? The dark look atmosphere of the look of the movie. Robert Pattinson did a really great job as the Batman. Oh, it's more Batman than Bruce Wayne. Okay, so it's called the Batman, so we should focus more on the Batman, right? And I like the Riddler. Take on a little play inspiration from the Zodiac Killer. Colin Farrell, great job as Penguin, unrecognizable with all the makeup and prosthetics. I enjoy the fight scenes. I thought that was well done. Yes, the issues I have is, well, I would say with Catwoman and the running time did not need to be close to 3 hours long. That's an issue I still have on that though. But regardless of that, I enjoyed the Batman. This year, Thor: Love and Thunder. Now, what I say of all the ones I've seen, I will say this: all the Marvel films I've seen from last year are worse than this film. Even Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness, I would say is worse than this. Okay, and before I tear this next Marvel film even further, positives. Before I get to all the negative stuff I say, positives. I enjoy the soundtrack of Guns N' Roses. I'm a big fan of Guns N' Roses. I like the use of the song, especially when I heard "Welcome to the Jungle," Paradise City, Sweet Child of Mine, November Rain. I enjoyed hearing Guns N' Roses because I enjoy Guns N' Roses. So yeah, that's one thing. Sadly, the best part of the movie, Christian Bale, he was doing his best as Gore the God Butcher. He was doing his best. Which I heard there was supposed to be a longer cut of this movie, and they cut a lot of his scenes out of it. Why? Oh, because the thing is, the problem with this movie and all the recent Marvel films, well, except for Eternals, because Eternals tend to be more drama, and that failed flat on its face. But the thing is, the recent ones, they just try to be doing more comedy and more comedies, trying to be more funnier and funnier every 5 freaking minutes, joke upon joke every 5 minutes. That's what it's not taking themselves that seriously anymore, And why I say it, because they cut a lot of his stuff out of it. Christian Bale's villain out. Why? Because he's trying to be an intimidating villain. But, oh no, let's just cut most of his scenes out to add more of this bullshit comedy. Christian Bale, he was doing his best as Gore the God Butcher. Funny that he was kind of like parts acting a bit like Joker, which is ironic because he played the Dark Knight, and of course Heath Ledger's Joker. But it was like, oh, this is so funny, and like that kind of tone. He's trying to be like a little bit like Joker as well. And he's called the God Butcher for a reason. Also, speaking of, he in the comics he was more alien looking. I mean, except he's just being Christian. He looks like he's just Christian Bale, just white, and bald. I'm like, why do they always want to go the cheaper routes? Why can't they just do it with makeup and prosthetics? For example, Tim Curry in Ridley Scott's Legend. Really good makeup effects, and really good looking. Yeah, it was a painful experience for Tim Curry because it was like peeling his skin when they take all the prosthetics and stuff though. But in the long run, the makeup and prosthetic effects on Tim Curry as the devil in Legend, really well done with the big horns and all stuff. Well, he can't do that in this because he's gonna be moving around a lot, so it's probably gonna slow him down though. But just use a little more makeup process, make him look like an alien being. But just going the cheap route is making making Christian Bale paint himself white and bald. That would have been really good looking to see how he looked like in the comics, though. But like I said, cheap way, just no creativity or imagination. And also, like I say, he's called a God Butcher for a reason. He wants to kill all gods, right? Why we don't see him killing all these guys from different parts of the universe? Like when Thor's on this in this snowy place, right? And there's this giant big skeleton of this god that got killed by Gore, right? We don't see that because probably took them all out of that cut footage probably. We don't see him. We can't have a montage of him just actually killing gods, hence him calling him the God Butcher, We don't see any of that. And also start at the beginning, it opens up with him, in this desert, and his daughter dies. And he's seeking out this god that he needs, seeking, for salvation, he praises for, right? When he does get there, this god is an outright douchebag, it's like your suffrage is basically your suffrage is what we need, or that's for our praise is your suffrage and all that stuff. So basically, this guy is an asshole, basically, and basically stomps on all Christian Bale's hopes, basically, and then the Necro Sword that has the ability to kill gods, it's sitting right there, literally sitting right there next to this figure that uses that sword. This is dead now, and stupid this guy is. Okay, you have a sword that can kill gods, right? Why don't you just get rid of it somewhere else instead of just leaving it right there for someone else to come along to kill you? Oh yeah, when he picks up Christian Bale by like this, and then the sword just slowly comes up to Christian Bale, right into his hands, and this guy does not see it coming over to his hands. This guy is an asshole and he deserves to die, and just right in the neck decapitates him, and that's when Christian Bale says, he vows to kill all gods, and then cut back to after Endgame, because Thor is now with the Guardians of the Galaxy. They make an appearance. They only appear at the beginning, which honestly they could not. There was only for them to be there in the first place. So once again, Chris Pratt, Dave Bautista, Karen Gillian, Palm Kevinoff, Sean Gunn comes back as Kraglin, Rocket, Groot. They see him doing all these fights, and we see this montage of a little bit of Thor no longer being fat anymore. He works out, loses all that weight away. But still, everything is just being so jokey and so funny, and to me, I think all these jokes were not that funny at all. And then it comes to the point where he wants them to fight this battle for this civilization, and then they say there's a sacred shrine that's basically made out of glass. Oh, hey, don't destroy that, that's our sacred shrine, And then they fight these creatures that look like owls, I guess. And that's where he fights these creatures, and you have Guns N' Roses' "Welcome to the Jungle" playing. And I did get a laugh at where if anyone caught this right, he does a Van Damme move. He does he catches both these crabs here, both his legs, like doing the splits, and then the next one he does a flying helicopter kick, Van Damme helicopter kick. That was a nice moment. That was a cool moment there because I enjoy Van Damme a lot. I'm a big fan of Jean-Claude Van Damme. So it was nice to see that kind of helicopter kick being replicated, but when Thor does that, if anyone noticed it though, but I'm just pointing out, yeah, that was a Van Damme helicopter kick. I did smirk at that, yeah. But the thing is that then he goes back to this carelessness, basically just doesn't care what he thinks. He's always trying to make himself all high and mighty again. Doesn't care about, even though they said the leader of this tribe, this group says, don't destroy our shrine, it's sacred, but what does he do? He takes the thing, the Stormbreaker flies around and destroys the rest of those creatures that are on that place, but then ends up getting destroyed the whole thing anyway. So basically, oh hey, look, I did it, everybody, and basically not caring, not giving a shit, basically, as the whole thing collapses. And even when Guardians of the Galaxy, when they leave him, they're roaring with those two goats, which that's kind of a folklore thing with these two goats, right? But the thing is, I did not like these goats, which their screaming was so excruciating, painful. It's like, ah! Ah! It was almost as bad. Their screams was almost as bad as hearing E.T. scream. I mentioned before how E.T. screams, how he screams, ah! Oh my god, these screams were just almost as bad as E.T.'s screams were. So yeah, they get up to those, and when Chris Pratt, Star-Lord, says, as they're about to leave, and says, hey, remember, if you feel lost, just look in the eyes of people you love, and he's looking at his group, and then, like in the teaser, right, Star-Lord is doing this. And then he said, please take care of my ship and all that, even though it's Star-Lord's ship, though, and Thor's not even listening to what he's saying, and it's like, even Chris Pratt is like, yeah, this guy's an idiot. Which I'm like, yes, because he's not like the... It just reminds me of how, with the whole thing in the first Thor film, when he was too cocky, right, that that's why he got banished to Earth, relieved of his hammer by his father Odin. And when he tried to pick up his hammer, he was not worthy of it yet. He had that he had that humbleness to him, right? How he learned his lesson. He learned from all that immaturity, basically, right? Here, all that is gone now. He's basically back to the way he was from before when we saw him in the first movie. Because the thing is, everything has to be funny now. All these jokes is so funny. It's not funny. That's the thing about all these MCUs. They try to make all these films try to be funny. Every joke in 5 minutes, because it's supposed to be funny. It's not taking itself seriously anymore. Like I said, that's why they probably cut all of Christian Bale's villains scenes out, because he's a good villain. Let's just show him killing all these guys to show him how he's a very bad threat. But no. And then he goes back to all that, and it cuts back with Jane, Natalie Portman, coming back. She has now cancer. That's they try to be comedic, and then boom, cut to a serious thing. She has cancer now, stage 4 cancer. And you have appearance by her friend, I forget her name was, who was from the previous Thor movies. And you have a 5-second cameo appearance of Stellan Skarsgård on a video for 5 seconds. I was like, where he's been all this time. And then back at New Asgard on Earth, Valkyrie is now the new leader of Asgard, and she's doing a freaking Old Spice commercial. She's product placement, and yet the new leader of Asgard probably has to deal, with Earth's stuff, right? Their culture and all that stuff, our stuff, and you're the new leader of Asgard here, do an Old Spice commercial. And then also, another thing that's supposed to be a joke is that, there's an ice cream shop called Infinity Cones, if you notice. Infinity Cones with a sign with an infinity gauntlet on there called Infinity Cones. So you're basically advertising for ice cream about a threat who used the Infinity Stones gauntlet to wipe out half the universe, and you want to capitalize on that by selling it as ice cream. So that is a joke now. They're selling that as a joke now. And even when they come to there's a play that tells the destruction of their home, Asgard. You have Matt Damon coming back as this Asgardian actor who plays Loki. Sam Neill as an Asgardian actor playing Odin. Luke Hemsworth, who's Christian Chris's other brother. There's Chris, Liam Hemsworth, and there's Luke Hemsworth. Luke is his other brother who plays Thor in this play. And then you have freaking Melissa McCarthy. I'm like, oh, great. The movie says, oh, great, Melissa McCarthy, jeez. Playing, as an actor, playing Hela. Kate Blanchett from Thor Ragnarok, Hela. So basically, you're telling a play. They're telling the story of Hela, this play of Hela and the destruction of Asgard. So you're Asgardians, and yet you're telling a play about the destruction of your home in front of this audience. Why? That was your home and got destroyed. That was very serious. So then you turn it, make it into a play. Like I said, everything's a joke now. So, and yeah, Matt Damon, Samuel, I like them both though, but they didn't need to be in this. Well, they were in the previous one though, but what's his name? The director's name, Takede Waki, if I mispronounce his name. He comes back to direct like he did from Ragnarok, and he's also plays Korg, the big rock guy. I tolerated him in Ragnarok. See, I burped there because this is a bullcrap movie. I tolerated him in Ragnarok because he wasn't that annoying. I think Korg was very irritating in this. Because a lot of times he's just talk about all this stuff, Like he tells, the whole great story of the mighty Thor, and then about this. Later on, he tells more about certain things, like, oh, you ever get the mates, in this lava pool and all that stuff. Not that funny. It was not funny. Korg in this was very irritating and annoying. So then, Christian Bale attacks Asgard in the night with his shadow people from the Necro Sword. And then Natalie Portman possesses the powers of Thor, the mighty Thor now, because all the treatments for cancer is that, everything has failed for her. Oh, but she looks at a book about the stuff of Asgard, the mighty Thor, his hammer. Oh, it can give you great health and all that stuff. So she reads this in a book, and then she goes there. Oh, my camera! I'm just too frustrated right now. She sees the broken bits of his Thor that Hela destroyed, right? And then I guess it's sorrow worthy. It put itself back together. What was the point? I guess it was kind of pointless for Hela to destroy the hammer, if it was useless. But now I guess someone who was very worthy, sick and cancer, you just we'll cure you. Just put itself back together again. So she has the powers of Thor. And the children in Asgard are taken. And one of them is Heimdall's son, which that was kind of pulled out of nowhere. Because all the other movies that had Idris Elba as Heimdall never once mentioned he had a son. Here, that was pulled out of thin air. All of a sudden, he has a son now. I'm like, wow. Okay, where did this son come from? He never mentioned once throughout this whole entire franchise he had a son. Pulled out of thin air. Because for convenience, because he has the same powers of his father to see where he's at. With Thor, need to see where he's at, right? So, but the children are taken, and they need to go get them. So it's him, Valkyrie, Korg, and Jane. They take the ride with his boat, which they use as because, like I said, New Asgard is a theme park attraction now, and they have these boats for like a ride, for rides and stuff, like a roller coaster. They take it along with those screaming goats. They make it as a bridge. Which, by the way, another freaking stupid thing, which I thought was not funny. Thor, his axe, Stormbreaker, is jealous of freaking Mjolnir, the hammer. So Stormbreaker, the axe, is now basically conscious, has a conscience, and he's jealous of Mjolnir, the hammer. So a love triangle between Thor and his two weapons. Because that's supposed to be funny, isn't it? It is freaking not. I thought that was completely freaking stupid as hell. Oh, an axe gained jealous of a hammer. Oh my god. I'm not bullshitting right now because I got a freaking headache now. I know I just took some Advil though, but I have a freaking headache and it's pounding because of this. I ain't bullshitting right now. Right here. Right freaking here. Calm down. Just calm down. It'll pass. But yeah. That's not freaking funny at all. So they go, while the children are captured in this cage, Christian Bale, like I said, he's doing his absolute best. Like, the kids are making this story of, oh, how something like this thing got his head torn off, right? But when Christian Bale appears, he does the same thing to the kids, and they're all scared, and he tears this thing head off, and he's like, what's wrong? You were doing the same thing. And he's like, like, Christian Bale, he was the best part of the movie. Chris Hemsworth, I'm sorry, his character is gotten screwed over time and time. Especially I hated Fat Thor in Endgame, you know. That I hated, you know, and just here, like Chris, the character, like all the other freaking characters in this franchise have turned into a freaking joke, which is quite funny. It's like how Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr.'s Captain America and Iron Man did not appear after since Endgame, right? It is quite funny how those two did not become walking jokes, right? Which like because they probably knew how, like, with Hulk and Thor and such and etc., right? They're gonna become walking jokes. Like, hey, since we're not gonna be in this no more, let them be now. If that was the case, I was like, hey, good on you two, you know. We don't need to tarnish Captain America and Iron Man treated as walking jokes. Thor is he's a walking joke. Everything is a joke to him. Well, not to him, but to me, he's a joke. Like with freaking Hulk, you know, he's a joke, you know, especially taking selfies and Endgame. Oh, hey. Speaking of also and also he's a joke. Also, when I saw that freaking She-Hulk trailer, because he gets a little bit scared by his cousin. I'm like, why are you freaking scared? Okay, you're the Hulk. They make Hulk a freaking pussy. I'm sorry to say that. Okay, Hulk's a pussy. Especially he was a chicken shit in Infinity War because he got his ass kicked by Thanos. Now the Hulk is too scared to come out. So he's a chicken shit, and he's a joke by taking selfies. And he goes, he's a little bit scared by his cousin who's a She-Hulk. I mean, this is what I mean. And all these TV shows have sucked. You know, I'm sorry. I hated WandaVision. Not really care about Winter Soldier and Falcon or Loki. Or especially when I saw the trailer for She-Hulk, definitely hated that. Especially the CG. I heard they tried fixing the CG because the CG of the She-Hulk got so criticized so much. They tried to fix it. See it again. What's the difference? I didn't see no difference at all. Anyway, all that aside, I was like, Christian Bale, he was doing his best. Like you said, what he was doing with the children, right? Then Thor and company, they go to this place where all these other gods are gathered, and Russell Crowe as Zeus. And I gotta mention, the CG and all these things are so awful. I'm sorry. The CG in this film is horrible. I'm sorry. My brother, he might once again, I get in conflict with my brother. Like, once again, he thinks I don't know what the F I'm talking about. Once again, I get in conflict once again with my brother, saying that I explain all this stuff. But once again, he thinks I'm full of shit. He says, the CG, what are you talking about? CG is great and all that. The thing is, if like freaking 4 Marvel films coming out every year now. Well, was it first Doctor Strange, then Thor, then we have Wakanda, which I don't care about. I don't give a shit about the sequel to Black Panther. Especially the Black Panther, the CG was horrible, especially in the 3rd act. Because they have so many. Back then when Marvel started coming out after Iron Man, there was like 1 or 2 coming out, right? Here we have either 3 or 4 coming out, and the production crew of all these of Marvel, they have so much to work with, you know. It's just, I think the procedure would be much better if like 1 or 2 spread apart, far apart, coming out a year, and get time to fix on the stuff, you know? Here, the CG was horrible in this movie. And, once again, especially with Russell Crowe, I'll say this, I'll agree with my brother with this, with Zeus's accent, Russell Crowe's accent. He says because, Zeus, he's the Greek god, right? He's trying for a Greek accent. My brother says he's trying to be, like, Italian, you know. I had to agree with my brother on that one. I had to say that, though. He's like, let's see who you are. Take off your disguise. It's like he's like speaking Italian, like how Italians do. But I know they're trying to do like a Greek accent because Zeus he's the Greek god, right? Basically, he tries to go there. Of course, like in the trailer, flicks Thor's disguise off. He's butt naked. We didn't need to see that. Oh, if it was the other way around with the women, like Natalie Portman, right? Oh no, we can't have that though because this is Marvel, Disney. Kids will see that. Yeah, but it's really fine with. Hypocrites. But anyway, he asks for Zeus to help to fight Gore. He knows about this, but he doesn't want to because Zeus is a douchebag. He says no, we stay here, be safe and all that stuff, right? Basically, Zeus is a douchebag and he's a coward. He's afraid of Gore. He doesn't want to get anyone else, all the other gods, killed. So he's a douchebag and he's a coward. So and you get this fight, which is all these fights in these Marvel films also is nothing new and different. It's just basically they're all just the same run of the mill, cliche, generic fights. That's what I see nowadays in these Marvel running things in these Marvel movies now. It's just run of the mill, cliche fights, nothing new or special. And it's when he takes his Thunderbolt and goes right through Russell Crowe, which his Thunderbolt looked like a toy. But that doesn't kill him because you see him at the post-credits, right? And so they leave and they go to this place another positive thing, this whole place where Gore is at, it's in black and white. That was kind of a good look, having this whole, when they go to this certain place, this one place, it's all in black and white, except for, like, the color red. What kind of reminded of Spielberg's Schindler's List, with that little girl who wore that red coat when this movie is in black and white. Same thing here. Okay, that's kind of a nice look to it, it's in black and white. They fight before they arrive. That's what Korg is talking about, his whole thing, this whole mating thing, and this fire pit, which I don't give a damn about. Or with Valkyrie, because she's a lesbian, because she mentioned about how about your girlfriend? They mentioned like her girlfriend or something like that. I'm like, oh great. And also speak with Korg, he's a homo now because you see him at the end where he's in that fire pit holding hands with like another species of him, another one of his species, and it looked like he had a mustache. I think it was like this. It had to be a guy. I was like, oh great, you gonna throw any more of these in here, Disney? I don't care about I don't give a I don't care about if I say there's all this woke thing. I'm getting tired of seeing this. All these woke PCP, CW throwing in all these Marvel movies now. Freaking especially Disney's also problem is a freaking woke thing now. Jeez, I'm getting tired of seeing all this. I'm tired of this bullshit. Seeing all this bullshit. I'm trying to say. This is all the stuff that I'm saying to you. This is why this stuff gives me a freaking headache. Because I'm tired of the bullshit. This is why did I decide, okay, I like the Batman more. Oh yeah, because I mentioned the Batman. There's this one freaking line of dialogue where the Catwoman says about the white privilege and all that stuff, right? One line, just a few words. But the thing is, though, take that aside, why the Batman did things so much more differently and much more refreshing things and uniqueness compared to what this I've given here, the bullshit of this. Why I think I prefer the Batman more. Because I've already explained why. You can also check back on my review of the Batman. I already explained why. But anyway, I was saying, Then they go to the planets. It was black and white. Because Christian Bale, Gore, he needs Stormbreaker. They fight. Falcon gets injured, and Jane, she gets weak because the more she uses the powers, their cancer gets worse. Gore gets the Stormbreaker, screws off because he wants to go He wants to go to see Eternity, which is another character in the comics. Like it's like a silhouette of a figure with like a galaxy on its body as its body. It's like a shadow silhouette of a figure, but it's the galaxy. If you don't talk about, look up Eternity. That's what he wants, because you go to Eternity, you make a wish for what you want. So Thor tells Jane, don't use the powers anymore. I care about you. You stay here. So he uses the Thunderbolt. Now he can use that to go to the place where Gore's at, which I'm like, why doesn't? Well, what was that idea? And I thought of before though, but who cares? I don't give a damn at this point. And all it does, and he gets the children, and also another thing, why could this been helped before? Like he can use his Thunderbolt to give the power of Thor to all these children. Like the children can have some powers of Thor, right? I'm like, what was that? What was an idea of like that brought up before? Well, it's just for the convenience of the plot, I guess. Even to a point where you see a little girl fighting a shadow person with a freaking stuffed rabbit. I think it was. That was her weapon of choice. And that's where you have November Rain playing. But Jane goes back there using the powers of Thor again. Gore gets the Necro Sword broken. But the thing is, he got what he wanted, so he goes to see Eternity. And Jane is dying, so is he, because the Necro Sword is cursed, so it's taking a toll on him. So they get to the point where Eternity is, and Thor saying, if you want to wish something that you care about, that you like your daughter, and because same thing, he was doing want the same thing for Jane, right? So his daughter comes back, and which actually, yes, the girl who plays Gore's daughter, that's actually Chris Hemsworth's real life daughter. Yeah, that's his daughter in real life. Was it India Hemsworth? But beside the point, the daughter comes back, and he keeps Gore saying "my love," which I thought that was because he's saying that because that's his daughter and he loves her so much. That's why he's saying, "Oh, my love." No, that's actually the daughter. That's actually the daughter's name is Love. So when I saw that, the whole time I was like, "Oh, you're calling her because she's your love, right? Because she's your daughter and you love her so much, right?" That's what you're saying. "Oh, my love," right? No, that's actually the daughter's actual name, Love. At this point, my head was after watching that. At this point, my head is about to explode. And this is especially my migraine's gonna get freaking worse because of this. That's the daughter's name is Love. Oh, because the suit for the title Thor Love and Thunder. There is no love for this movie, and Thor has run out of thunder. Sorry. So he dies, and then Jane dies. She withers away. Forces how he's I love you and this and that. And so after that, sometime after that, he adopts Love. He adopts her as his daughter. He adopts her, takes her in. And he has his hammer again, and the girl has Stormbreaker now, and she can use that. She knows how to handle Stormbreaker just like that very easily. They go out to fight this battle. It's on a beach. The girl knows how to use Stormbreaker that easily. And so, during the credits, Zeus is still alive. He's talking which you wonder who's talking to, which I kind of expected, because if you're bringing in Zeus, you have to bring in Hercules. So yeah, he was talking about get rid of Thor, and yes, he was talking to his son Hercules, which I don't know who this actor is, and especially I don't care about Hercules at this point. I don't care about any of these new characters. What characters are being introduced at this point, because every Marvel film I've seen has been shit. In my opinion, it has. In my opinion, so I don't give a damn about Hercules. And after the post credits, Jane is in Valhalla now. She's now in Valhalla. You know, it's a place where like all the gods or whatever are supposed to be at. It's like that's their version of heaven. And she is welcomed by Idris Elba, Heimdall. She's welcomed by Heimdall, saying, "Oh, thanks for helping my son and all that. Welcome to Valhalla." And it was just the same why I hate every Marvel film. I hate Marvel now. Because I've hated every Marvel film. I hated Black Widow. I hated Shang-Chi. I hated Eternals. That was the most boring of them all. I hated Spider-Man No Way Home. More I think about it now, the more I hate Spider-Man No Way Home. I hated Morbius, like everybody else does, rightfully so. Yeah, I get the whole... Yes, I also get the whole meme, oh, it's Morbin time. I get the whole meme. Which I don't think even that whole thing meme that people are saying and making fun of it, I don't think that's not funny either. But people who hate the Morbius thing, yeah. The Morbius, yeah, rightfully so. But yeah, that film. And then Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Bullshit. Which that character gets screwed over as and now this movie. So after how many straight Marvel films I've hated this year, from last year to this year, do you think I give a shit about the sequel, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever? Do you think I give a shit about the sequel, The Marvels, after I hated Captain Marvel, the first one anyway, or Black Panther? So you think I should give a shit about Wakanda Forever? You think I give a shit about The Marvels? You think I give a shit now about Ant-Man 3, The Quantumania, or Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3? You think I give a shit about any of those all those upcoming ones? You think I give a damn? After how many straight Marvel films I've hated, do I care about any? I don't give a shit about those upcoming ones anymore. Well, I wasn't fans of some of those previous first ones, like Black Panther, Marvels. Besides, speaking of Wakanda Forever, it's not gonna be the same without Chadwick Boseman as Black Panther. Either because may rest in peace. So if he's not gonna be in this, don't do the movie anyway, because it's not gonna be the same without him in it. Yeah, he was one of the best parts of the first Black Panther, or any of the rest, because his acting is not the problem. It's just I just wasn't a fan of Black Panther in general. But it's not gonna be the same without him in it anyway. So what should I care about the sequel? Or any of these upcoming ones I'm saying. Because everything is gonna be jokes upon jokes upon jokes. Especially shitty jokes as well. The CG was horrible in this movie, like I said. My brother, whatever he says. My opinion. Especially, Thor, he's a joke. He's run out of thunder. Korg was irritating. Valkyrie, nah. Natalie Portman as Jane. Okay, I'll be honest. She wasn't annoying. I will say that she was not annoying. She wasn't annoying in this movie. I'll give that, to be honest. But Christian Bale, sadly, he was the best part of the movie. Like I said, it shows he was an intimidating villain, killing gods. Why couldn't we get a montage of him just killing gods left and right to show what a big threat he is to these gods? Oh no, because they probably like to cut a lot of his scenes out of it. Oh, he's a good villain. He's an evil threat. And it shows he has a potential to be a good villain. Let's cut most of his scenes out so we can just shoehorn in all these shitty jokes. Because this is a comedy like this whole franchise is now. It's nothing about a big joke. So that's why I was saying, people can make fun of Christian Bale in this, like, oh, people compare him to Lord Voldemort. Why? He's killing gods. Why couldn't we get a montage of him killing gods that shows what this threat is. So yeah, Christian Bale, best part of the movie. Russell Crowe, like I said, what my brother said, he's trying to like do like an Italian accent. Was supposed to be a Greek. Russell Crowe, I like Russell Crowe though, but yeah, it was his character was Zeus was a douchebag and a coward. He was afraid of Gore. That's why, oh, you stay here, we'll be here. Da, da, da. So here I go again, and I don't give a shit about Hercules either. Once on the running time, like every other Marvel film has to be 2 hours long. Which I still will say that's one issue I have with the Batman, is it shouldn't be that long. I still say that though. Which is why why do you think I've been liking DC more recently? Joker, Shazam, The Suicide Squad from last year, this movie. I mean, not this. The Batman, I'm trying to say. I've been liking the recent DC movies. Even though, yeah, I was not a big fan of Harley Quinn's own solo movie though, but Ewan McGregor, he was fun as a villain. I could watch that for that though. He was a fun villain because I like Ewan McGregor. But it's just the point that Harley Quinn was enough to carry her own, not as a character to carry her own movie. But Joker, the Suicide Squad, I gotta be specific, Shazam, and the Batman. To me, yeah, the Batman is the best superhero movie I've seen this year. Better than all these Marvel movies. What else? The Marvel is not serious no more. Everything is a big joke now, because that's why we throw all these jokes in every time. Because it's funny. It's not. But like I said, Christian Bale was the best part of the movie. It was good to hear in the songs by Guns N' Roses. Yeah, I did smart when Thor did the helicopter kick, the Van Damme helicopter kick. I did smart on that. Natalie Portman, like I said, honestly, she was not annoying in this movie. I thought she was okay. But everything I thought was completely stupid. Like the guy that treated Gore like shit at the beginning. Oh, a sword right there that can kill gods. Oh, it's just sitting right there, waiting for someone to pick it up and kill you with it. Or New Asgard, advertising infinity cones. Advertising, even though that was a big deal that destroyed half the universe, but you want to make a profit on that by selling ice cream with that. And even those Asgards are making fun of their home being destroyed by making it as a play. Melissa McCarthy didn't help. Yeah, I did not mind her in the heat because that was mostly for Sandra Bullock. I did like Spy, yes I did. She was tolerable in that though, but I'm not really overall a big Melissa McCarthy fan. What was it? I hated Ghostbusters 2016. Hated that. But I was not really a big fan of her in general. But it was like, oh great, Melissa McCarthy. Jeez. Korg was irritating, annoying. Throw on those PC things, I'm tired of seeing being thrown in these movies nowadays. I'm tired of the bullshit of that. And everything's just been too jokey. Like I said, it's a big joke, the movie. That's what this Marvel is. They're not being serious no more. But everything I said, Thor, Love and Thunder, there's no love and there's no thunder in this movie. This franchise is run out of steam, out of energy, so I don't know what I can say. Everything I said, I'm just repeating myself. But yeah, in my opinion, this film sucks. If you agree, fine. Because Marvel is now downhill. I don't care about any of the upcoming ones. That's why I said the Batman is the best superhero I've seen as of recently. And I'll continue to praise the Batman for. But yeah, thoughts, let me know what you think. Thanks for watching, stay tuned for the next video. Later.